Hi, it's Don from lighting-essentials.com, and I've been asked to show some Photoshop tips, so that's what we're going to do on this movie. I was asked to show how I did this shot, which you can see on the site in the uh, multimedia show called Minimalism. This was done on a shoot where the model and I, Christina in this case, went to Superior, Arizona, and all we took with us were one camera, two lenses, and one little strobe. I did have fill cards in the car, but I didn't have anybody to hold them, and I was kind of hoping that I didn't have to use them. I wanted to be able to show that you could go out with a model and take great shots, and you didn't need to take a lot of equipment. I have a lot of equipment, and many times I take a lot of equipment, but in this particular case, I just wanted to go real minimalist and show what we could do. So let's take a look at the shot here. The strobe is coming from here at chest level straight into her, and that puts enough light up under the brim to light up her eyes. We do get a little bit of a shadow here of her hair, but you notice that by the time it gets back to the wall, it's really just not an issue anymore. So it's just a wink of strobe light, and the strobe is set to be one stop less bright than this sunlight. So this sunlight is one stop brighter than this right here, and that lets the background look pretty good here. So everything looks pretty good. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check my histogram, and histogram looks pretty good, but I am going to move up my darks just a little bit, just about there. Good. And now I'm going to do the retouching. Now I'm using low-res images here, obviously, because I'm making movies. See this little dark area here caused by the strobe? Well, if we can get rid of some of this dark area here, it may not look so darn strobe lit, huh? I'm using lighten at 30%, and I'm going to come right in here and just lighten up this area, dark side of her nose. I'm lightening it, I'm not getting rid of it, and I think that's really important. It's very important to understand you lighten, you don't get rid of. Okay, so I'm going to lighten up this shadow right here, and I love that little dimple, but we're going to get rid of it for this shot right here. All right. All right. A little better there. Okay. Any other problems that we need to work on? No? No, everything looks pretty good. Okay. Let's take it back down, and let's take it open nice and wide so we can see the shot as I start to work on it here. I'm using a cross-process action made by Rusterican Studios, and you can find that link to Rusterican Studios here on my www.lighting-essentials site under stuff. He gives this action away. It's called Acidify, and I really love it. I think it's a great action. But first, we're going to get ready for that by lowering the darkness back here. That's just a little bit too bright. I'm going to use my burn tool at 25%, and I'll make it a little bit bigger here. I'm going to burn this back here because, you know, I don't want the eyes going back there. I'd like to keep the eyes up front here. Work around here. As you can see, it starts to make Christina pop out from the background just a little bit, which is the goal. She is the star of the photograph. Well, Christina and that board right there. I really love that board. But Christina, I think, is probably the real star of the photograph, so to hell with the board. All right, board's gone. I am going to saturate with the sponge tool, saturate at about 30%. I'm going to saturate the colors back here, which will really bring them out a little more when we add the uh, cross process to it. So I'm going to saturate this wood in here. And see there's some color here on the sidewalk. Let's bring it out, shall we? All right. That's where we are right now. Good. I'm going to go to Actions. And I'm going to go down to Acidify. Urban Acid, I guess it's what's called Urban Acid. Acidify is under Urban Acid. And that's what I'm going to do right here. But before I do that, or actually I'm going to do it first. I'll show you. I have an idea. That's right. Okay. Acidify, as I remember, makes a new image to work on, which is really great. I wish all these actions would do that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to work with this this default. This is how it comes up, and I would say if you're going to run it for the first time, just kind of stay with this default, but I'm going to move this up just a little bit like this. I say OK, makes another layer, makes another layer. I'm going to leave everything as default, and I'll let you guys play with it as you get around to it. Okay, and here's our layers that it's created here. As you can see, nice muted layers here and a muted color. If I take the muted color and I raise the opacity, it mutes it more. If I lower the opacity, it mutes it less. I'm going to go up just a little bit higher than he has it set. I'm going to go to 50%, and then I'm going to, for the sake of this movie, flatten the image. Now, I'm going to hold my Shift key down, and I'm going to drag this image right on top of this image, which means it's a perfect fit, pixel for pixel. See? Boom, 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 boom. All right. Take this image, and I'm going to lower the opacity down to about 75%. That lets some of the color from this image come into the cross-processed image. Now I'm going to add a mask to it, and with a black brush, add about 20%, because I want to be real careful. I'm going to paint back that doorway that I had back there. I'm going to paint back some of this brick, this warmth here in the wood here. I'm going to paint back some of these. See, when I'm painting with black here, painting with black, I'm letting the color come back. And I'm going to bring the color back into Christina here. I'm going to let her go ahead and warm up just a little bit. You see what I'm doing here? Okay, there we go. Now there's always more things you can do to an image. Always, always, you know. But I like to stop here. I'm going to head and flatten it. Bring it up so you can see how nice it is. Looks great. And I'm going to sharpen it. Filter, sharpen, unsharp mask. I'm going to use my default for the web, which is 200 0.3. And I'll tell you, I use this at the end of everything. Okay, you look at the difference. Okay, so there's Christina for the web. And I'm going to save this image. And actually, I'll save it after I say bye. Come visit us at www.lighting-essentials, and I hope you enjoyed the show.